Hello everyone, hope we're having a fantastic Saturday. Today we're going to do the second raid in Shadowbringers, Eden's Verse. And hopefully we're going to... Let's see, last time we did Eden's Gate. And that was a nice little field trip with Dad Crid, Mommy Gorianje, and Reen. And hopefully we get a bit more of that. And maybe we'll see the two more of the ARR remix. What are they called again? Primals. For Garuda for wind and Ifrit for fire. But without further ado, let's get started by talking to Yelford here. Away with the ferry. Yelford has arrived in Mordsuk bearing a pertinent information. Ah, there you are. I'm part of the team helping with the highly classified and very, very secret thing. The fact of the matter is, I've come to inform you of a rather interesting development. It's about the girl who was brought back from the empty. She's finally woken up, you see. Yelford, and Brilliant too. We heard the news from Thancred. Is it true? Why, yes, it most certainly is. Apparently, her name is Gaia. Okay, that's what I thought. She claims... Of course it's Gaia. No, never mind. Never mind. Thinking of something else. Apparently, her name is Gaia. She claims to be a free citizen of Yulmore, although she remembers nothing of the events leading up to her attack on Eden. She lost her memory? Part of it at the very least. We also cannot be sure whether she's telling the truth or it's merely a ruse. She's yet to display any hostility, which is encouraging, I suppose. And Thancred's with her now, is he? Yes, he's taken her to Yulmore, mainly to verify that what she's told us so far. Who's the locals, that sort of thing. After that, the plan is to come back here, though they're taking rather longer than I had anticipated. I do hope nothing is amiss. But clearly something is amiss, or else we wouldn't have a plot. You're gonna head to Yulmore? Oh, no, another cutscene. Good grief. Are you always this slow? At any rate, it'd be dark again before we know it. The night sky returning is all well and good, but it doesn't make each day seem awfully short. And are you still dragging your heels back there? At least act as if you've got a purpose, would you? Now look here, I'm not one of your servants. Oops, wrong accent. Wrong voice. Now look here, I'm not one of your servants. Why don't you try carrying your own luggage for a change? I mean, she was Yulmoran, so... Thancred, you're back! You lot are sought for sore eyes. Yes, even you, Urianje. Gaia and I have just finished shipping her personal effects from Yulmore. I'm glad you could finally meet. Properly, I mean. So, did you learn anything useful? Other than where she lives, not an awful lot. Her supposed neighbors barely knew the first thing about her. Hell, she barely knows the first thing about herself. Her recollection of her life in Yulmore is patchy at best. But she seems convinced that she'll regain her memory if she accompanies us, and so she invited herself to join our merry band. And for her first act, she ordered me to carry her luggage. you insist on standing around talking, might I suggest finding a place to sit down first? My feet are killing me. Maybe you should try different shoes. Those things are a bit ridiculous. Then perhaps you should have chosen a more sensible... See? That's what I said. Still, it's not such a bad idea, shall we? I mean, she's Yumor, and of course she's gonna be stuck up. I've got so many things I want to ask, but I probably shouldn't bombard her with questions. Amnesia. 'Tis troubling, but though not entirely unexpected. Well, I've given you my early impression of Gaia, but I would be interested in hearing your opinion. Go on and talk to her and see what you might make of her situation. So, do you remember anything at all? Not attacking us? Not falling unconscious? Such selective amnesia would raise suspicion within those of a cautious mind. Yet, if she doth speak the truth, it would lend credence to my current hypotheses. Though admittedly, some further... Not now, Urianger. She's only just woken up. We don't want to bore her back to sleep. Just looking... Urianger just turns and looks at him. In any case, I prefer to follow my instincts, and they're telling me that Gaia means us no harm. After much deliberation, I thought it only right to let her know about our work in the empty, as a sign of goodwill. After all, trust works both ways. Though, I would ask you, Brillian, not to let your guard down around just yet. So, you're the one I'm supposed to have fought? Come to think of it, I recognize you from somewhere. Maybe I just have one of those faces. So you should, considering you tried to kill me. Yeah, she did. Well, if Thancred's version of events is anything to go by, you weren't exactly holding back yourself. Still, it seems I didn't give you much of a choice, but to defend yourself. So let's call it even. Not that I have any recollection of it. It seems like remembering fragments of a dream, only to realize that those actually happened. It's as though my whole life has been leading to this. Thou speakest as though thou didn't expect these events. I guess you could call it that. It's what the fairy told me. Fairy? I can't see it, but it is as though there's someone else inside me, and I can hear its voice in my head. Hey, me too! It whispers to me, and lets me use its power. Magic, I suppose you could call it. Not that I know much about that sort of thing. And this power alloweth thee to tear open the fabric betwixt realities, that thou mayst call forth the aether-starved denizens of what remaineth of the 13th. What? Was that supposed to mean something, or are you just spouting random words? Yeah. That's the same thing we all say. Uyanje, are you just making stuff up at this point? Honestly, I don't know how you put up with all of this. This is great. I've only just met him, and he's an insufferable prattle. His insufferable prattle is already giving me a headache. Trust me, it was worse than ARR. Gods, I still can't believe I'm having this conversation. And to think that I was flying around in a suit of armor, waving a sword. That doesn't sound like me at all. Someone else inside you? Like Minfilia was inside me. Aye, the similarities cannot be ignored, though it is too early to say with certainty. Gaia may well be the Oracle of Darkness. Or didn't they say they were going to keep that a secret at the end of the last one? The Oracle of Darkness? What does this mean? It means that you may have been right when you said she has something in common with Emmett Selk. Those who have been used as a living host by an Ascian have no recollection of events that occurred during their possession. This I know from personal experience. But Gaia seems to have some memories still, even if they're a little hazy. Moreover, she has remained in control of herself even when she had heard the voice within, much like you and Minfilia. And though Reen has very much her own person, Minfilia's presence did exert a change upon her outward appearance, granting her hair and eyes a hue akin to that of her dear departed friend. It is therefore not unthinkable that Gaia's raven locks may be a manifestation of the darkness which hath come to reside within her. But I was born like this, and my parents. They both had black hair too. Or at least I think they did. It's been so long since I saw them, I can't remember too well. But enough about me. You're Minfilia, aren't you? The Oracle of Light, who they were hosting in Yulmore. Well, not quite. That's right, though imprisoning is a better word. They kept me locked away, and I didn't know much about Yulmore and its people, or the rest of the world for that matter. I see. And now, how exactly did the Oracle of Light come to run with the Warrior of Darkness? Well, it all started when... Yes, I still remember the day everyone went raving mad, and Lord of all three fled. Everything after that is still a blur, though. From what Guy has told me, she wasn't part of the mob that attacked us, but how was she able to resist of all three's control? Mayhap 'twas the intervention of this fairy of whom she speaketh. As curious as they may be, we still do not know why she appeared out of nowhere as soon as Eden took flight. This is just a guess, but I'd say that the fairy... What? Oh, the fairy reacted to in some way, and for whatever reason made me go after it. Yes, that seems like the only explanation. I don't know what about you lot, but I've had enough nattering. I'm going back to Eden. What? But why? The fairy wanted something from Eden, and knowing that this will bring me a step closer to discovering exactly what has been living in my head all these years. Besides, my memories aren't going to restore themselves, and certainly not through idle chit-chat, so I'm going, and that's it. Gaia, wait! Insufferable. Utterly insufferable. And yet we can't, well, leave her on her own devices. Come on. I guess we're heading back to the empty. Looks like we're making a stop somewhere here first. Probably got attacked or something. You can't have gone far, especially not in those heels. Get away from me! Looks like a friendly fellow. I'm gonna call him Steve. God. Seems I've no choice. What am I? Well, I'd have to say pretty strong. A most fascinating application of ethereal manipulation. The destructive blast did manifest a single span of time after the initial casting. With sufficient mastery of such a technique, a second spell could be made despite the target at precisely the same moment. While it would demand exceptional ethereal control, its tactical potential cannot be denied. Okay, nerd. Powers befitting the Oracle of Darkness. When you fought Gaia, she opened void gates, yes? Back in the source, portals of such as those were all too common, but tearing open the veil between the 1st and the 13th is a different matter entirely. We should be thankful that she's not of a mind to turn that power against us, for now. I'm not entirely sure what I just witnessed, but I'm glad she's unharmed. What are you gawping at? I don't mean to stare, but it's not every day I see magic like that. So, this is the power of the fairy you spoke of? Ever since I was a child, it has whispered to me, telling me what to do. That's how I came to use its power. But there are things I can't even explain. Holes ripped in the thin air, terrifying creatures crawling out, ghastly-looking blades and armor appearing out of nowhere. But worst of all is the dark energy that comes from inside. This power, it feels as though it's only flowing through me, and never truly mine. And even when it answers my call, it always takes a few moments for spells to work. Okay, so she didn't do it on purpose, the delay on purpose. So, in summary, you don't have control over the magic. Well, it's not as if I ever tried to control it. I haven't made a habit of fighting wild beasts. Unfortunately, it's part and parcel of traveling through Ring. And while I understand that you want answers, you're not going to find them unprepared as you are. But if your heart is set on this, then we'll help you. Reed, think about what you're saying. You seriously consider taking Gaia to see Eden. There's no telling what might happen if she loses control again, so the safest option is for her to stay away until our work is done. Somewhere we can keep an eye on her. You must realize it's for her own good. You're not my dad. Oh, don't worry, he will be. I must concur with Thancred's assessment. At present, we know precious little of Gaia's origin, and less still of her powers. If she is indeed the Oracle of Darkness, her presence may complicate a task already fraught with peril, placing our mission and her own well-being in jeopardy. In full knowledge of the risks, dost thou still wish to pursue this course? I do. It wasn't so long ago that I was living in isolation, being held against my will. Maybe the people keeping an eye on me thought that was for my own good too. But if we shut Gaia away with our own convenience, for our own convenience, we're no better than Vothri and Ranjit. I've learned that when someone is in need, we must reach out a helping hand, not push them away. A lot of people can learn from that. Now it's my turn to do for Gaia what you've all done for me. Even knowing the danger that lies ahead, I won't choose the easy way out. This is the path I've chosen. Is that good enough for you? Well, can't say fairer than that. How about you, Urianger? The light of thy spirit doth burn brightly. Mine apologies, my dear, but we felt it necessary to test thy resolve. Let it suffice it to say thou hast left no room for doubt. For what it's worth, Reen, I never doubted you, but make no mistake. The danger that Urianger and I speak of is all too real. If you're prepared to go through with this, we'll be right beside you. Right there beside you. That means a lot to me. Thank you. I couldn't care less who I travel with, but if we're going to go, then let's get going already. There's supposed to be some sort of craft waiting at the southern watchtower, yes? Come along then, and don't fall behind. Well then. Gaia is definitely an insufferable brat, but again, she is Yulmorin, so we'll give her a bit of a break. Why couldn't you leave this craft in Mortsuk instead of all the way out here? Actually, don't bother explaining. Whatever the reason is, I'm sure it's something frightfully uninteresting. Let's be about it, shall we? Though our circumstances hath changed, our mission most assuredly hath not. Restoring life to the empty remaineth our primary objective. Of course I'm worried about what may happen when Gaia gets close to Eden. We'll keep a close eye on her, make sure she's alright. It might be a bit of a tight squeeze with the 5 of us, but we'll manage. Perhaps Urianger can sit on top of our luggage. As usual, we should keep our sojourn here as brief as possible. Let's tend to business quickly. I had hoped that during our absence, the rebalancing of the ambient ether might work further change. Alas, 'twas not to be. Everything seems fine here, as far as I can tell. As for Gaia, she hasn't started attacking anything yet, so I'll take that as a good sign. Right, Gaia, you're not gonna start attacking me yet, right? So, there it is. I'm trying to give Gaia a slightly deeper voice than Reen's. Eden, where I'll find the answers I seek. The bringer of the flood, the first Sin Eater. Would it lead me to my past or my future? What awaited on the path ahead, I couldn't say, but I had no choice but to take the first step. Blood and thunder. Gaia is lost in the thought as she gazes toward the silent giant on the horizon. So looking at this arena, if I had to guess, we're going to do wind next. Actually, with thunder, that makes me think it's going to be Garuda's remix. That would be cool. Maybe like hit by Feather Rain. That would be fun. I know what it's like. It was the same for me. But I was lucky, because Thancred freed me from Yulmore, and I had a chance to see the world. More importantly, though, I met all kinds of people, and they taught me not to live in another's shadow, but to be myself. Maybe one day you'll have that chance too. Said your piece, haven't you? One day? What's that supposed to mean? I don't know how the great Oracle of Light sees such things. But for someone like me, who's only known life in Yulmore, there was no tomorrow, there was no future, only the here and now. And while we waste time on these meaningless conversations, I feel each moment of my life slipping away. Time, it won't wait. Not for me, not for anyone. I don't know how much longer I can hold on to who I am. I'm sorry, Gaia. Gaia? There's probably not even my real name. It isn't? When Thancred asked me for my name, I couldn't remember. Okay, so he named her too. He's named both of his daughters. This guy's trying to pick up chicks, he accidentally keeps on picking up daughters. That's when the fairy whispered to me, Gaia. But if you grew up in Yulmore, surely someone there must know who you are. Everyone I once knew had either disappeared or had been turned into a Sin Eater. Been turned into Sin Eaters. Those whose faces and names I still remember, that is. In the end, we found not a single person who so much as recognized me. As far as I can recall, I've never been the most social person, but still. Well, even if that's not your real name, I think Gaia sounds lovely. If you're happy with it, then that's what I will call you. And if you're willing, instead of calling me Warrior Oracle of Light, please call me Reen. It's not the name I was born with. That's long forgotten now, but the one the people whom I consider family gave me. Is that so? Well, as much as I'd love to keep up with this chatting, there's something that's bothering me. I thought the fairy would have reacted to Eden in some way, but so far nothing whatsoever. From what I gather, it wasn't until Eden started moving that I appeared out of the blue. Perhaps if we were to actually try flying it somewhere, the fairy might break its silence. If you've got elements to restore or whatever it is, or whatever it was. Why don't you hurry up and get it over with? At once, your ladyship. You need to learn some manners. Yeah, insufferable brat. And you need to stop wasting my time. Jeez. All right, everyone. I think we talked for long enough. If you're ready, let's make our way to Eden. Okay, let's head over to Eden. See which element we're going to be going for next. Probably Garuda for wind. My memories, I think they're slowly coming back to me. My mother and father would constantly blather on about how the flood of light could return to end the world when we least expect it, and that we should live each day as though were our last. They would often say, "I wish this moment would last forever." That was until they were selected by Ascension by Lord Vothri, and were never to be seen again. Since I had no other relatives, even my close friends, any close friends to speak of, I was left alone in the world. A past like that hardly seems worth remembering, does it? Green's little chat with Gaia reminded me that, for all our obvious differences, there are some things we have in common. I too grew up not knowing who my parents were. The day Louisoix gave me the surname Waters was one I'll never forget. Years later, it was under rather more desperate circumstances that I gave a certain young girl the name Minfilia. Little did I know that it would end up crossing time and space, taking on a meaning I could never have foreseen. It came to be passed on to one girl after another, bidding them to a fate not their own. In a sense, it may be said that I chose not only one but two names for Reen, but by whatever name she is called, she is truly her own person now. And as central to our lives as names are, I believe that it isn't the name itself, but the bonds it symbolizes that matter most. How nice. I've done some reading about the lands swallowed up by the flood, but it seems no easy task to find locations without dominant element. I'm glad we have Urianji to point us to the right direction. Right, Urianji? I'm free. You can talk now. Don't worry. Gaia won't be all snotty about it. Neither will we. Following the initial changes wrought by the release of water and earth, the empty hath displayed no further signs of alteration. Stability, some may call this, and be satisfied, but in truth it is passivity. A passivity stemming from light's ever-pervasive presence. If we are to break the status quo, we must needs employ a catalyst, a third element that shall arouse and stabilize those unleashed energies in activity. Therefore, I propose lightning. Oh, okay, we're gonna do, big ballsack guy, right? So the primal would be Ramu, then? Yes? Or wait, whatever. It might be a Heaven's Word one. I don't remember. I don't remember which one Ramu is. From what I've heard, he's guardian of the forest. Oh yeah, it is the ballsack beard guy. And not particularly keen on conflict. But you've actually fought him, haven't you? He's half man, half beard, another half beard for good measure. I spent most of my time chasing after orbs. Yeah, that's about right. Ah, yes. Nickard mentioned that he more closely resembles a person than a beast, unlike most other primals, and apparently he tends to not move about much. Just like Thancred. I'm glad to see our lessons have paid off. Well, it's like you say, if we want to call forth an accurate representation of the primal, I should picture it in my mind as clearly as possible. At the very least, it's worth a try, but the rest is up to Brilliant. Stoic nod. In order for this to work, we need to actually fly somewhere, yes? So rather than sitting in one spot while you exchange anecdotes, why don't we get this blasted thing moving first? One must admit, the suggestion is not without merit. Green, might I suggest the Gandorf Thunder Plains as our next location? These plains, it is writ, were perpetually blanketed in storm clouds. The only source of illumination, the ceaseless barrage of lightning. The ambient ether that lingereth there shall provide ideal conditions for the summoning. And that's where we're headed. Come on, Eden, we've got a job to do. That should be a good spot as any. All right, Brilliant. Whenever you're ready. Oh yeah, I'm ready. I've even got my remote warrior axe on. Or I think it's from that extreme. Wait, what was this one called? I missed it. I looked away for a second. Not that. Eden's Verse, Fulmination. Alright, let's go ahead and enter queue. And let's see, 11-minute wait time. I'm gonna stand up and walk around for a minute. I suggest you do the same thing while we wait. So I'll be right back. Okay. I actually get slightly lightheaded when I do sometimes do this dialogue, and I think I realized it might be because when I do Reen's like higher voice, I do sort of a breathy voice through my nose, and I think that actually makes it so that I don't like breathe as much air in, and it actually causes me to get lightheaded. Because it doesn't always happen, but it was happening when I was doing that dialogue. Or all that dialogue. Also, for these raids, I'm gonna try and actually, like, watch out and try to tank swap. Because last time, for 2 of the, I mentioned this yesterday when I did a little bit of Dark Knight stuff, but there were 2 of the raids last time where the tank kindly asked me to provoke, and I completely missed it. So hopefully I'll actually, like, notice it and try and swap. I also thought about doing this as Dark Knight, since I got to level 80. But I don't have the Dark Knight. Yeah, I can use all the Warrior Tombstone gear that I got. But, I don't... Let's see. I don't have the level 80 weapon yet. Everything else is 80, though. I also want to put a glamour, my Dark Knight gear, like glamour plate on there. Should probably put on the warrior one as well. Where's warrior? I'm blind. Oh, it was up top. Okay. Should I play some more Minesweeper? Yeah, sure, I think I'll do that. Alright, you know, I should probably try and make this a little bit bigger on my screen, just because it's harder to see. Let's see. Oh, that makes it bigger for you guys too. You scale that down a little. Let's center it horizontally. There we go. Okay, there we go. That's that. They're both mines. Those are mines. That's a mine too. That's a mine. That's annoying. Those are all mines. That was bad. Oh, that could have been bad. Those are all 3 mines. Those are mines. That's a mine. There. That one there. That there. That's fine. That's all 4 of those. Let's see, this is gonna be a 50-50, isn't it? See, that's 2, so I'm good there. That's 2. Those 2, 5. There we go. This is why I play intermediate, not expert. Because you have, you don't have as many 50-50s. Okay, let's do one more. Then I'm gonna figure out something else to do, because this is kind of silly. Oh yeah, today they, there was a, like, Christmas thing going on in town, like I'm in some small town. And so they blocked off one of the roads for, like, the thing that they were doing. Oh, come on. This one. That didn't help. Okay, so that has to be the 4. And so, but then at the light, they blocked off the center lane so that you couldn't go straight. You had to turn left or right. So these people with their 500 IQ decide, oh, I'm going to go into the right side of the middle lane and then try and turn left because I meant to go the other way. Seriously? Okay, so 2 of these are mines. Let's see. One of these is a mine. I'll just do that one. Okay. Okay, so this has to be a mine as well. That was another 50-50. Of course, right after I talk about, like, having less 50-50s in intermediate. I end up having to get lucky with one. Well, I got 50% win percentage, that's good. And I want to play one more. One, two, three, that's 5. Okay. Okay, both those are mines. That's a mine. Okay, we're making progress. Those are mines. Come on. 50-50 shot here. Okay, well that's enough Minesweeper. Let's see, what else could we do? Been almost 11 minutes. I'm sure I've got something else I can do while we wait. Oh yeah, today I was editing down day 2 of the 5.3 stream, or the 5.3 day 2 stream, and I was just like, and I tweeted a couple things about it. That was all like the seed of sacrifice and everything. And another beautiful day has come. The rains have ceased and another beautiful day has come. Or is upon us, that's how it goes. And man, it's even better the second time. Just being able to sit back and watch and like listen to myself read the dialogue out instead of having to read it. And then Grandpa Tia living up to the name of being the Crystal Exarch and all that. If you know what I mean. So I need to turn on a fan. I'll be right back. My computer works as like almost as a space heater for this room. It's not very big. I probably shouldn't have the fan blowing directly on me. I can feel it on the back of my neck. One of the reasons that I wanted to do this was because, or do this raid series, was because I saw 5.4, the 5.4 patch art, or whatever you would call it, had Gaia in it. So I wanted to make sure to do this beforehand, so we actually got an introduction to who Gaia is. It looks like 5.4 released the next raid tier, or not tier? Yeah, sure. I think that's the right name. Next raid tier, Eden's Promise. So I will do, that means this is the last one. I think I'm trying to debate. I'm debating if I want to do the alliance raids or not. Obviously, I want the glam. I could do them on stream just because it's content, but I don't know if I want to wait to do that after 5.4 or not, because I believe the first two were released before 5.4. I guess I could just look that up right now. Let's see. 5.3 added the second one. Okay. Yeah, the Puppets Bunker is the second one. So that means I could go ahead and do the first two of the Alliance raids. If all of the queues are going to take this long for, even as a tank, I don't know if I'll be able to do this on stream. I'm going to look up, let's see, the axe I have is the Dual Haken, which I believe comes from the extreme version of the original version of this raid, or this boss. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's also where I got my Dark Knight, so this sword is from the extreme Ormud. Ormud? There's Ormuth. That's the striking tree. Ormu. I think this axe is too, unless it's Isail. No, okay, it's not. It must be the Isail's extreme. I forget what it's called. I guess I could just look it up. Look here. This one. Viva, that's right. No? And what one is this one from? Oh, there he goes. You popped. Let's get started. I guess I should move the waiting for a queue text. It's the same song. There's a remixed version.
Get ready.
Yeah, it's a remixed version of the song. And this guy's got a cooler beard. Much cooler beard.
So, this is Ramu.
Yeah, that's kind of the voice I expected for Gaia. Oh, right, let's get started. Hopefully there aren't as many orbs. Oh, right, I get poetics for doing this. That'd be great. Just follow where everyone else goes. Oh, don't want to stand next to the orbs. Am I supposed to knock them away? Okay, that's not what I was supposed to do. Oh, it was. Okay. I don't see any swapping mechanic that we need. Oops. Of course, I should probably do the I should probably like do the whole paying attention thing. Thanks for raising me, man. Ha! I am pro. I should use Whole Gang there. I wasted all those attacks there. Put the storm cloud over here. And he drops a raid on the raid. Get another one. No, I wasn't paying attention to that one either. Surprised I didn't get knocked off. Yeah, I deserved to die on that one. Wasn't paying attention at all. This time, it's over there. Let's make sure to grab an orb. Oh, come on, why are you putting them there? I wasn't holding an orb. I clicked cheese puffs for breakfast. Up. Second time. I'll get better, I swear. Yeah, that time I was even looking in the right direction, I just plain didn't see it. Just showing how good I am at this. I did it again. I really need to pay attention. I didn't die, but still. I've got an orb, but I don't think I need it for this one. Just another one of these annoying ones. What side is it on this time? Oh, drop the cloud on us again. Let's grab an orb. I don't think we'll need it. Oh, okay, I see it this time. I won't get hit off this time. Okay, I finally did the mechanic. There we go. I only died 3 times! I've taken thy measure, bringer of light. What he said. I believe that's the what he said, too, because he was like testing us or something in the original. What I learned from this fight is I need to pay attention more. Need everything because I'm a greedy little bugger. And I still somehow got a commendation. You people need to pay more attention than I do. So that thing was created based on your memories? Maybe there's a way we can use Eden to summon the fairy like that. I had my eye on Gaia the entire time you were fighting Ramu. And besides the sort of reaction you might expect from someone watching you take on a half-man, half-flying horse thunder god, I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. The fact that Eden itself also showed no signs of being affected by her presence can only be a good thing. But I'd understand if Gaia herself were more than a little disappointed that she's no closer to the answers she seeks. Once again, 'twas the most superlative display of thy punance. Punitance. Nah. Puissance? Sure. Now, I could not fail but notice that body indeed belonged to Ixion, fabled equine embodiment of lightning. Hast thou perchance encountered the beast? I don't know. I thought I was prepared for... thought I was prepared to expect anything, but I didn't expect Ramu to be one to turn out quite like that. Appearance aside, he was quite aggressive as well. The sylphs believe in him as a kindly guardian. Clearly makes a difference to his temperament. Anyway, I'm just glad it's over. Let's go back to camp and see if anything's changed. Let's grab skill speed. Sure, it doesn't matter. The crystal's a different color, but apart from that, it all looks the same. It may look the same, aye, but it feels different. The air has grown slightly more humid, as it does before rain. I have to say, I'm not exactly prepared for wet weather. If Eden can control elements and so on, can't you tell it to send those clouds elsewhere? Speaking of which, I'm not very impressed with its so-called powers. If changing yellow crystal to purple is the extent of its abilities, it's no surprise the fairy didn't bother showing up. I hope that whatever is next is more worthwhile. What a brat! Rather than influencing the ground beneath our feet, Eden hath brought change to the firmament above. And yet 'tis clear that a more dynamic element is required for nature's cycle of precipitation and evaporation to be complete. So we need movement? Would wind do the trick? And there's Garuda. Also, Gaia's lips are ridiculous. Most certainly. It seems we have a plan. Let's not dwell too much on the effects of each individual element, and instead focus on seeing them all restored. The power of an oracle. Not to be sniffed at, it seems. All my life, you were a constant companion. Your voice ever seeping into my mind. Why then, of all times, did you abandon me? Deaf even to the crashing of thunder, or were you simply biding your time? One plan fails to achieve the desired effect, so you move on to the next with minimal brooding and prattling. It seems we're finally learning. I'm not sure what to expect. I'm not sure I was expecting to see after restoring the lightning element, but I did feel a bit disheartened. Still, as Thancred and Urianger say, there are changes taking place, even if they're not immediately obvious. As much as I bemoan Urianger's long-winded explanations, we'd be lost without him to take care of all the etherical science and whatnot. Obviously, I'm quite sparing with my praise, as I wouldn't want it to go to his head. But Urianger's already got that gigabrain. And he's even got that drip to go along with it. Anyway. Into the firestorm. Oh wait, I thought it said that we were doing Garuda. Or no, it didn't say that, it said wind. Urianger's knitted brow almost certainly spells trouble, namely for you. Ere we set out once more, might I ask if thou art familiar with the process by which rain is made to fall? It's an elegant conspiracy, I say. Elegant in their weather technology. Then thou shouldn't have difficulty understanding the explanation to come. With the restoration of our first element, the empty was once more blessed with the most essential ingredient in the cycle of precipitation, water. Under normal circumstances, the heat existent in the atmosphere would cause water to evaporate from the land's surface. As invisible vapor, it is borne by the wind high unto the firmament, where it doth condense as clouds before descending once more, returning to the land in the form of rain. It seems we need a wind-aspected ether to create more clouds. That it hasn't rained yet must mean there aren't enough. And even before that, we need fire-aspected ether to make the water evaporate. Okay, yeah, I thought we were going to do Ifrit as well. It Seems to me that one's not much good without the other. Why don't we just draw out both elements together? Oh, so are we gonna get a combination of Efreet and Garuda? You're suggesting that Brilliant fight two deiform entities, each one as deadly as Ramu at the same time. Do you realize how absurd that is? And yet, 'tis a notion that doth warrant further consideration. Oriancha, I don't like where this is going. Oh, you can't be serious. Cast your mind, if you will, to the elemental wheel I did show you in the bookman's shelves. Sure, I remember. Wind giveth rise to lightning, whose spark doth produce fire. By restoring both wind and fire in tandem, we may maintain balance between these dynamic elemental forces. The ensuing battle shall indubitably present an ordeal unlike any Brilliant hath ever faced. I believe, however, that this path doth lead to the prize we seek. Oh, I suppose it's not so absurd after all, eh, Thancred? I wouldn't dream of questioning Urianji's grasp of science behind it. My concern is for the burden this would place upon not only Brilliant, but Reen as well. What do you both make of the plan? If Urianji thinks it'll work, I'm willing to give it a try. Stoic fist bump. As long as you know what you're getting yourselves into, you're going to need all your strength. So see that you get plenty of rest. Guy, is the only thing you can do shrug? Gaia! I'd rather Reen keep her mind on work here than worry about Gaia. Mind you, it might be better for them to clear the air before we go any further. I have selected a location in which wind and fire aspected ether lie dormant, though I shall wait until Reen hath completed her preparations ere I dispense with the particulars. Dot, dot, dot. Check if Guy is standing back there. It seems Reen is reluctant to air her concerns. Were you to rally her spirits, she would become more willing to talk. Talk to Gaia first. I can't stand all this waiting around. Having grown up in Yulmore, I'm used to only living for the moment. We never had any reason to concern ourselves with later, tomorrow, the future, and so on. These things simply didn't matter. But after Lord Vothry disappeared and the night returned, everyone in Yulmore started thinking differently. I was only there for a short time with Thancred, and I couldn't believe how much had changed. It was almost as though, under Lord Vothry's rule, time had stopped moving altogether, and when it ended, life went back to how it was supposed to have been. They realized they had their whole lives ahead of them, to make plans and look forward for a new day. It feels like I'm the only one who can't move on, as if I'm stuck in the past. What's worse, I can barely remember any of it. Even so, I can't stand the way they act as if the past never happened, choosing to forget it all. This is why you read the extra dialogue. It's usually pretty good. It can usually be pretty good. Dot, dot, dot. Right, I got a rally here. I don't have rally on here. The female rally and psych emotes are so underwhelming compared to the male ones. Yes, you're right. There's no use in trying to pilot Eden while I've got other things on my mind. It's about Gaia, you see? The truth is that apart from Alizé and Alphanode, I hardly know anyone my own age. I thought that I should make an effort to be nice to Gaia, but, well, you've seen how she is around me. I understand that she's got her own problems to deal with, but I thought that maybe I could help her in some way. It's not my place to intrude, and I should probably just leave her be until we've finished restoring the elements. After all, that's more important, isn't it? I don't know about that, Reen. Let me talk to Gaia while you concentrate on the task at hand. Is what I would have said once upon a time. Yep, he's gonna make her do it. It seems to me that you're the one best qualified to take care of this little problem. I know she can be a bit prickly, to put it mildly, but if anyone can get through to her, it's you. Although we've only known her for a short while, we're all she's got, and I think she realizes that. Just let her know she's not alone and she'll come around eventually. Alright, I'll give it a try. Do you have any advice? I don't know, I'm the wrong person to ask for that. Tancred certainly has a gift of the gab. He'll know what to say. Orianchi can talk the hind leg off of a behemoth. Why not ask him? No, this is a case where you might want to ask, Tancred. I'm afraid that since arriving in the first, I've had little time to mingle with any of the locals, and I haven't a clue what young women like Gaia would be interested in. Well, that's true. Old man, out-of-touch old man. This gives me an idea. I'll start with some small talk and then go from there. Usually what you should do. That's usually what I end up doing. Except I hate small talk. Actually, since before she even woke up, I've been asking Lena about what's popular in the Crystarium. I thought it might be nice to show Gaia around the place one day, you see. So that's what you were doing. I suppose it makes sense for a nice change of pace from all that studying. And I must commend thee on thy choice of confidant. The captain's powers of observation maketh her a veritable font of wisdom concerning the behavior of the Crystarium's citizenry. Yes, and now it's time to put that knowledge to good use. Don't let the fear of rejection hold you back. Are you sure that's what you're saying, Tancred? Persistence is the key. Speaking from experience by chance? Yeah, again, she picked right up on that. But whatever do you mean? Why does he need a wife when he's got 2 children? He doesn't have a guy yet. Lessons learned from the days spent in pursuit of ladies fair, one might suspect. Everyone picked up on it. You couldn't help yourself, could you? It's alright, Tancred. Your secret's safe with me. May I remind you that the reason we're here is to create a better future for everyone in the First, which includes you and Gaia. While it might not be on the same scale as bringing life back to the empty, if you're able to befriend her, that will be another way of contributing to a brighter tomorrow. So, go on. She's waiting for you. Again, are you sure that's what you're saying, Tancred? Alright, wish me luck. Rena's ready to approach the decidedly unapproachable Gaia. You had best observe the conversation from within earshot. Are you sure we should eavesdrop on this kind of conversation? Tancred may have taken on the role of Reen's surrogate father, but I have of late become something of a mentor to you, don't you mean mother? Though largely in instilling what knowledge I can of etherical science. A more attentive student thou shalt seldom find. I mean, Thancred won't listen to him, so I guess he had to go for Reen instead. It's when Reen and I face our problems together that it truly feels like we're family. Or at least what I imagine it would be like. That's right, he didn't even have parents like he said before. I suppose we both grew up without our birth parents to guide us, but I think we turned out rather well given the circumstances. I wonder if this is the kind of bond that Flamine shared with Monfilia. Walk right up to them first. She looks like she's got a lot on her mind. Maybe now's not such a good time, Reen. You need to go up to her. Instead of bothering me, when I'm obviously not in the mood to talk, why don't you get back to work? Fair enough. What do you want? Oh, nothing really. You can wait till later. For all we know, there might not even be a later. If you've got something to say, hurry up and spit it out. Is everything alright? Not feeling strange for being around Eden or anything? Is that what you came here to talk about? Actually, I wanted to ask you. The squats in the background are hilarious. Does the emote change depending on like your most used emote or something, or is it just always squats? Because I always do squats when I'm waiting for somebody to finish a cutscene in a dungeon. Actually, I wanted to ask you. Would you like to go to Coffee and Biscuits with me? Again, this is what Thancred was getting at. What? What? Coffee biscuits. They're very good for, they used to be the gil thing that you would do for your leave allowances, that you could get some gil for them. I don't know if I haven't calculated if they're profitable anymore, but whatever. Coffee biscuits. They serve them at the second serving in the Crystarium. Everyone's talking about them, so I thought that maybe once we finished our work here, you and I could go there together. Let me get this straight. You came to talk to me about biscuits? Yes, they're light and crispy, and when you dip them in coffee, they go all nice and squidgy. Squidgy. The only reason you've been interested in that in the first place is because everyone else is doing it. Can you think for yourself? I do what I want, when I want. After all, the world can end at any moment. That's not going to happen. Not if I've got anything to do with it. Listen, Gaia, I understand what you're going through. Believe me, I do. But you mustn't lose hope. A new day will come, then another, and another. Life's not so bad if you give it a chance. You'll see. Shut up. You think you know me? Even I don't know who I am. Until I find the truth, I'll never be free. Then we'll find it together. I've seen enough pain, enough loss, and I don't want to see any more. And that includes you, Gaia. Why do you care so much about other people? What have they ever done for you? I'm sure you haven't forgotten how we Umorans treated you, the precious Oracle of Light, like a bird in a cage. And yet, you act as if none of that ever happened, so forgiving, so selfless. You and your family brought back the night sky, and you finally had the chance to lead a normal life, but instead you're flying around in a giant sin-eater, trying to turn a barren wasteland into some sort of paradise. And for what? I may not remember much of my past, but I'm fairly certain I've never heard of anything so ridiculous. Out of morbid curiosity, I'll see it through to the end, but if you think that makes us friends, you are very much mistaken. Gaia. Well, geez, Gaia. Poor Bean. She did the best she could. I surmise that to keep Gaia waiting over long would only agitate her further. Poor Bean. She's just trying to be nice. And Gaia just had to come out here and say, everything you're doing is ridiculous and stupid. Like, come on. You don't have to be that edgy. I get it comes with the outfit, but still. Not you as well. Look, I've had enough small talk for the last me a lifetime, so don't even bother. I believe you have a job to do, yes? Then be quick about it. Rain's looking a bit down in the old doldrums, but you let me worry about that. We can't allow anything to interfere with whatever goes on in your mind when summoning those primals. I think we've both rested long enough. Let's get started, shall we? I hope it all goes according to plan. Repeat the dayform manifestations of both wind and fire shall require every last mote of thy strength. That thou hast triumphed over such beings in previous encounters should be at the forefront of thy mind as we commence the summoning. Where are we going this time, Urianger? A place called Ashfall doth satisfy our requirements, I believe. The fables speak of travelers sweltering beneath the blazing heat of the midday sun, while at nightfall the slicing winds did tear at their cloaks. I see. Hopefully it won't be quite that bad when I draw out the elements. Green, my dear, may I remind thee that the focus is not the same as to deny other faults. Whatsoever it is that troubles thee, thou wouldst be better for acknowledging it. Okay, Mom. Yes, you're right, of course. It's Gaia that I'm worried about. That is well. May thy concern for her lend thee yet more strength. Yeah, channel that nervousness and uncertainty into strength to motivate yourself to work on this. It's time. I'll begin drawing out the wind and fire in equal measure. Brilliant. We'll only get one chance at this, so let's make it count. Memories of Garuda and Ifrit rage through your mind. So we're going to get some combination of Garuda and Ifrit. That's going to be interesting. Eden's verse 4 now accessible. Alright. Let's jump into Q. See how long this one says. 5 minutes? Very nice. My studies indicate that no equivalent of Garuda's servants, the Ixal, are present here in the first. My hypotheses as to the reason why can perhaps wait another time. Thank you. If we summon 2 more primals at once, maybe they'll fight each other? That way you'll only need to beat the one left standing. But I suppose it defeats the purpose of it if you don't take them down at the same time. How long has it been since our encounter with Ifrit and the Mulja followers? A long time ago. I think that was actually over a year ago now. Because Endwalker's anniversary was today? And I had finished ARR by that point, I think. I don't think I'd finished post AR by then, at that point. I wonder what sort of hellish beasts you conjured up this time. Well, hopefully this will actually be like 5 minutes, 5-minute queue. Also, this gets me tombstones, so maybe that'll actually get me up to the amount that I need to finish off the current step I have for my animal weapon. So I need 1,500 for the rest of them, and that means I should be able to get enough. Yeah, I should be able to get enough. Because there's going to be, this one will be 100, the next one will be 100, and then the next one will be, that's 300 already. And then I can get another 100 from roulette, another 450 from roulette. So yeah, that's more than enough to finish up this step, or this anima weapon step. Then I can get these items out of my inventory. Hopefully I'll do a bit better on this fight than the last one. Last one was a bit embarrassing. Cause I just didn't note. I just kept on not noticing that mechanic, and then getting pushed off the edge. Thankfully, I didn't need to swap or anything. So we're at an hour and a half, a little over an hour and a half now. Wonder if we're gonna get through this in 2 hours, because I have to leave on time today. Well, I can go another hour, so we should hopefully be good. That'll be 2.5 hours. It all depends on how long these quests and how long these queues end up taking. Put up the waiting for queue text. I want to see something real quick. Nah. When is Steve having the preview window and the preview on in OBS made me lose any FPS, but it seems like it's pretty much the same. Then again, I'm not sure. It does seem like it works a bit differently, or it feels a little bit different when I have the stream on. Then again, that might be because I'm streaming and using NVEC encoding, I think. Am I? I think I am. Yeah. H264, NVIDIA, NVEC, NVENC. I always read it like that. I do the same thing for the local recording. Oh, I'm gonna get pretty swole at this rate. And you know, no healers exist in this game. What hat is that? Why should I bother looking at the hat when I can't wear any of them? most of them. So I actually downloaded World of Warcraft and installed it. And I have like barely any space left on my hard drive. And I actually logged in, and it does give you an option to purchase a token directly from the character select screen. So that's nice to know. And it was all the way down to like 173k gold. That's really low. At that rate, if assuming that I have at least 1 million gold on my characters, throughout my characters, I should have, so 1 million divided by, let's just do 180k. That's enough for 5 tokens, 5.5 tokens. 5 times 15 is $75, so I would be able to purchase Dragonflight. Like, that's the only, if I had to actually pay for Dragonflight, and I couldn't use my gold, then, like, I wouldn't even really be considering it, but the fact that I can basically get it for free is a really nice option, or makes me a little more inclined to do it. Then again, I need to see how often I feel like streaming on weekdays. If I do, then I might just like stream Dragonflight on weekdays or something. Or I might do more MSQ on weekdays, I don't know. Just doing more streams on weekdays. That was my goal with doing the stream last night, was to just like get myself to try doing a stream on a weekday after work. I don't think I'll be doing a stream unless I can start it before 7, though. Because my minimum stream length I would like to do would be an hour and a half or so. Hour and a half to 2 hours. Of course, last night was only an hour, but that's because I overestimated how long roulettes would take. But, I want to see if I can do more streams during the week. But it really just depends on when I get out of work and if my boss says we can go home. So I'm supposed to stay till 6, but usually we can get out. Usually we can just leave like 10 to 20 minutes early and nobody cares. But I would only do that if my manager wasn't there, or if he left early. Sometimes he leaves at like 5:30. He doesn't say anything. And then sometimes he just says to go home. But like yesterday we actually finished up our some stuff, or like what he had planned to get done for 2 weeks. So he just created a bunch of tasks and then said go home. A bunch of tasks that I suggested to him. That's nice that if I actually bring attention to issues, there's a good chance that he'll actually like consider them and will actually consider fixing them. Because like there are places where you can work where you'll like point out issues with the code or whatever, and they'll just be like, nah, we're not fixing that. Now there are a lot of times where I'm like, this UI looks terrible, why are we doing this? But unfortunately his response to that is, the owner said so, so I have to do it. And there was like one feature that both the manager and I agreed was like not good at all, but the owner was like, yeah, we're going to do this. And both of us are like, ugh. And guess what? We're removing it in 2 weeks. Thankfully, I mean, it was an interesting project, but it like really wasn't that good. It really didn't turn out very good. We were trying to make it so that we could render a UI with JSON, and like I got it to work and I understood how it worked. Thankfully, with my compiler knowledge and understanding how parsing works, I was able to understand the code and basically just like incorporate it into our program. But like it did not turn out very good. It was really limited. And now the owner is pushing for us to turn it into a desktop app. Not a desktop app, a web app. Because it used to be a phone app, but since we made it in Flutter, they have a desktop. They have a web version that you can run it in Chrome, and it actually works like fairly well. It's just that we have like scaling issues, and now we're like debating like because we made like everything be a media query so that they would resize depending on your device size. But now that's kind of biting us in the butt because like the width of a browser is really big compared to its height, and so scaling ends up getting messed up. Anyway, let's get started. So remove the waiting for cute text. Oh, looks like Garuda and Ifrit. That looks like Ifrit's arena with the Garuda's green wind. And yeah, I guess we are fighting them at the same time.
Both wind and fire have answered the call.
An even more scantily clad Garuda.
For your rights.
Ifrit looks a lot cooler. It looks more humanoid. That's Garuda's theme, I think. Oh, okay, that's how that works. Guess we're supposed to be in this? Oh no. I guess not. That could have been bad. Oh, and 2 people died. Of course, it was the black mage. Got 1 cheese puff. I have to stand inside his bubble so I take a little less damage. Oh wait, no, that's a white mage bubble, not a... The white mage bubble or a scholar bubble? I couldn't tell. Oh, that guy's about to get wrecked. My cheese puff's gone. Oh, okay, that's how that works. Yeah, then drag him back to the center. I guess I got Garuda, he's got Ifrit. What's gonna happen now? Are they gonna fuse? Okay, he's got it now. Wanted to make sure he had it before I didn't accidentally turn him around. Or eat around. Whee! Wow, okay. I don't know what happened there. Could barely even see where the safe area was there. We got this. Nice. That was a cool fight. Not near as crazy, not near as annoying as the last one. I also did the mechanics a little bit better. For a moment, I thought Reen had lost control of the Aether. Luckily, we managed to avoid any major disasters, from what I can tell. Combining and contrasting powers of different primals. That seems an awful lot like the Ultima weapon. In any case, I'm pleased to see that you were successful here as you were in the Praetorium. That two such ferocious beings should meld into a single entity is frightful indeed. Further research needs to be performed to fully comprehend this unexpected phenomenon. That was incredible. I never imagined they would fuse together like that, but you took them down all the same. Well, I am the main character after all. I suppose the main thing is that we're now two elements closer to restoring the Aether of the Empty. Let's go and see what difference it's made. Waiting for it to all just go wrong. It actually worked! Just like Urianger said it would. I mean, he is Urianger. He may be very verbose, but he's usually correct. Everything we could have hoped for. Indeed, our endeavors have been repaid manifold. I wonder what will happen when we restore ice. Okay, we're gonna do a Shiva remix next. Can you get some snow here? Is something the matter? One more element, and then what? You'll have achieved the impossible, but I'll still be nothing. No memory, no past, no family. Nothing. The world has moved on and left me behind. Anyone who ever knew me is either dead or gone, so make new friends. So alrighty, Eden. You can mend this broken world, but you can't restore one girl's memories. Make new ones? Give me my life back, damn you! I still hunger. Her lips and face are ridiculous. Ah, you get migraines too? Excruciating. The cursed light. Extinguish the cursed light. I didn't see the rest. Enough riddles! Tell me who I am! You are. I am. Gaia. Yeah. Gaia, what's wrong? Reclaim your memories. Fulfill your destiny. I don't understand. Gaia, can you hear me? Get away from me! Amidst the sound of falling rain, your voice called from within. Long after the rain passed, your voice echoed on. Just get it over with, would you? Poor Gaia. If the fairy lives inside her, why would it let her suffer like this? I wish there was something we could do to help. Pray be on thy guard, my friend. Gaia may yet relinquish control to the voice within. Heart of Darkness. Tancred is looking particularly chipper, despite the heavy rainfall. I mean, his name is Waters. While this downpour is precisely the result we were hoping for, the novelty of standing outside in the rain does wear off rather quickly. Not to mention, Gaia's looking a bit under the weather. Let's continue this conversation in Eden's core. What does it want? Why won't it tell me? I'm not sure what's going on with Gaia, but it's certainly a cause for concern. Perhaps this is the fairy making itself known. Now that I think about it, I don't really know all that much about Eden. Since we need to find out how it's connected to Gaia, I should try to understand it at a deeper level. To be honest, there isn't much else I can do. Here we set forth to restore the element of ice. I would discuss the manner in which the summoning shall be undertaken. Just tell me one thing. Is this going to bring the empty back to the way it was before the flood? Well, none can say for certain. The change we have observed at this point, at points of ethereal interaction, doth give us cause for optimism. It may be reasonably assumed that the empty shall continue to transform, and in the decades to come regain a semblance of its former state. Decades? I don't think you've quite grasped the sheer scale of the damage left in the wake of the flood. It would have swallowed the entire world if Unfeeling had it stopped it. Even if Reen has inherited her blessings, wounds like that don't heal overnight. After all, the empty has been utterly devoid of life for 100 years. And it might take even longer than that to bring life back. I don't expect immediate results, but I do know that it will stay like this forever unless we do something about it. My sentiment precisely. Only once the final element is restored shall we have a glimpse of the future that awaiteth those of generations yet to come. She's not gonna like this. You do all this for a world you may not live long enough to see, while here I am so absorbed in my problems that I spare barely a thought for anyone besides myself. For so long, I've listened to that voice, telling me what to do, who to be. I was so scared that what might happen if I disobeyed. But I don't want to live like that anymore. I want to be me. Who am I? What am I? Perhaps it's better if I never find out. If Reen's the Oracle of Light, here to mend the broken world, what does that make me? Gaia, the Oracle of Darkness, bringer of misery and death, a monster. It's no wonder they left me. Mother, father, and next it'll be all of you. Then I'll be back where I started, where I've always been, alone. Gaia, is it the fairy? What's wrong? Afraid I might lose control and ruin all your carefully laid plans? No! It's you I'm worried about. Reen, I'm going outside to clear my head. You just do what you need to do, alright? Something's wrong. I know it. Yeah, well, we can deal with that after defeating Remix Chiba. That much is clear. If you have to repeat her first visit to Eden, a repeat of her first visit to Eden, we may even be joined by those Void-sent friends of hers. If you go and see what Gaia's doing, Urianger and I will stay with Reen. My name is Gaia. That's what you said, isn't it? Eden? The Flood? What does it all mean? No, it can't be. Is this what it's been waiting for all this time? Finally, you remember. What? What is this? Ah, here we go. The darkness that dwells within you, Gaia. Hey, I've got a bit of dark. I know something about darkness inside myself. Maybe I should have played Dark Knight for this. The accursed spawn of light are drawn to it, like moths to a flame. Pathetic, mindless, and easy to fool. Sin Eaters? Now the time of awakening has come. That's Thancred. I guess we might have to put Shiva on hold. Brilliant. Reen sends the Sin Eaters. What has happened? Wrong voice. Don't try to fight them. Just bring Gaia back inside, quickly now. She's in a bad way, but at least she doesn't seem to have lost control. What entity is this that should hold a horde of Sin Eaters in its thrall? And to what end? She is unconscious. What's happened to her? That's a concern for later. First we must deal with those Sin Eaters. Brilliant. If thou wouldst care to repel our assailants without, I would task Thancred with the standing guard within. I shall tend to Gaia meanwhile. Stoic nod. Eden's verse. Inconocalum. Chasm? I'll look at it a little closer in a second. Let's see, what's it called? Iconoclasm. Sure. 6 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna get up and stretch my legs now. Now I recommend you do too. So I'll be right back. I'm here. I had barely enough time to go to the bathroom. Okay. See what this is. The Idol of Darkness. The Comedian of Darkness.
So many of them. But nothing we can't handle.
Flip the camera up a little bit more. Oh, we got 3 mentors. That means it's going to take 3 tries, right? Oops. Fat-fingered Holm Gang. I saw everyone running away from me, and I'm like, okay, let's not stand there. Let's just not move. Probably shouldn't stand right in front of those. I had to guess you should stand here. At least not in any of those squares. Oh, that's cool. Those are portals. We shouldn't stand in front of blue. Oh, cool, I got it right. I forgot to make this a mouse over. What are we supposed to be doing here? Yeah, okay. Well, I probably could have guessed that. Oh, wrong way. Need to be over here. Follow the guys with the same color. Now purple, I need to stand with the white. Okay, I'm white again, so stand with the purple. Of course, as soon as I pop this, okay, let's not get pulled off the edge this time. come to the center so they can heal all of us. Oh, the dancer actually using their healing ability. It had occurred to me there was going to be a raid wide, I would have used Shake It Off. I'll stand in front of a blue. Nope, I need to stand over here. I'll stand with these guys. They got a purple. Oh cool, that was still the right place. Purple, I need to stand on blue. Let's go with this, and I got dead. Oh no, both tanks died. He already got him up. It doesn't matter, we don't need anyone to tank. Wait a second. Okay. It just spawned, dude. Give me a second. There we go. You barely got that. I messed up that last one. To be honest, I got a bit lucky on some of those mechanics. Also, I don't think we're gonna be able to. We don't have time to do the last one today, because I'm gonna need to stop very soon. I'll finish up this I'll finish up this next cutscene, and then I think I'm gonna have to wrap it up today. The interior is secure. With the eaters gone, I thought that Gaia might show some sign of improvement, but she hasn't so much as stirred. Sin Eater's drawn to the Oracle of Darkness, just as she herself was drawn to Eden, first and foremost amongst their kind. She is unconscious. She won't wake up. What do we do? Well, we pick the skill speed materia, and then we save it for next time. What is this place? Where is everyone? So, I'm all alone. Even the fairy is gone. Into the silence. Into this darkness. Is this what death feels like? It's no use. No one can hear me. How ironic. All those times I wanted peace and quiet, and now that I finally have it, I wish I had someone to talk to. I thought I couldn't stand to be around them, all their interfering and fussing, and yet I was never lonely. But it's no use. Even after everything we went through, my memories still won't come back. There is no future awaiting me, only emptiness. Those memories, they can stay lost forever. If only this pain would leave me. Now, I close my eyes and sink into the darkness. And then I'll suffer no more. Gaia! Mother, Father, wake up! I understand now. Why wait for tomorrow to claim us? Gaia, can you hear me? This perfect moment never has to end. I'm not giving up on you. Gaia, say something. What do you want? Please, I'm begging you. Remember all the things we said we'd do. Like going to the second serving for coffee biscuits. She didn't agree to that. I never... Gaia? I never agreed to anything of the sort. Thank goodness, I was so worried about you. Ugh. You have to be so loud. Barry fell silent, only to be replaced by Reen's voice ringing through my head. Never thought I would be so glad to hear it. Well, that was cool. Unfortunately, we're gonna wrap it up for today, because I need to get going pretty soon. That's gonna be all for today. Next time we'll do the last fight for this tier, and then I'll figure out what we're going to do next. I plan on I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. We're going to be doing our usual grilled and saucer stuff, and then I think I'll have a beast tribe quest ready, or a tribal quest ready. I forgot to do it today, so I'll need to do that tonight to make sure that there's one ready for tomorrow. But for now, that's going to be all for today. Hope to see you guys tomorrow, same time as usual. I'm going to start a little after 3, unless I get home late. Depends on how long lunch goes. Anyway, that's all for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.